Okay, I call the meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please, for the Commissioners Court meeting?
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Kelly Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and in the years to come. Help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what is best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessing and your guidance. Amen.
Amen. Okay, the next item is item 5A, a proclamation designating March the 29th, 2019
We have a consent.
as Vietnam's Veterans Day.
Consent agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting ahead of myself. We need to approve the consent agenda.
Judge Commissioners, with your permission, I'd like to pull from consent agenda items 4C, 12D, 13C, 15A, 1 and 2, 15B, and item 16A.
Move to approve without those items.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, with respect to item 4C, the interdepartmental transfer for Precinct 2 CRC San Juan Youth Facility, it should be, the interdepartmental transfer is 2019 as a correction, not 2018, but 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Consent agenda item 12D, under tax refunds, Judge Commissioners, the correct pair is Texas National Bank and not Falcon International Bank. So as a correction, it is Texas National Bank.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item, Judge Commissioners, consent agenda item 13C, under Fire Marshal for membership dues. It should read South Texas Fire Investigators Association and not South Texas Arson Investigators Association. And the requisition number is 389837 and not 389838. I'm sorry, the opposite way. It should be 389838 and not 389837 as a correction.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, for the record, Commissioner Fuentes is abstaining from any action and/or discussion as it relates to consent agenda item 15A1, 15A, 1 and 2, and 15B.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Including myself, aye. Motion passes.
And I will defer to Ms. Marty on consent agenda item 16A.
Yes, this is requesting approval to enter into a 12-month agreement with Vigilant Solutions LLC for the hosting and management of Vigilant Enterprise System license plate reader software, which is, excuse me, which is going to be through requisition, 38809895 in the amount of $45,288 with Upstate Wholesale Supply, which is a DBA of Bright Computers, awarded vendor through a DIR contract. Observations were that a lot of documentation was missing. That has all been submitted and uploaded for the auditor's observation. The only thing still pending, and it's subject to the Sheriff's Office line item transfer. So I recommend approval.
Approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. I believe that concludes all our.
Yes, sir, it does.
Now we go to agenda item number 5A.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Julia Sullivan with the Hidalgo County Judge's Office. Item 5A is a proclamation designating March 29th as Vietnam Veterans Day. Army combat veteran and assistant veteran service officer Felix Rodriguez, specialist, 5th class, E5. Rodriguez worked military intelligence assigned to the 5th and was assigned to the 5th Infantry Division, is here to accept the proclamation. And whereas the Vietnam War was fought in the Republic of Vietnam from 1955 to 1975 and involved regular forces from the Democratic Republic of Vietnam and Viet Cong guerrilla forces in armed conflict with the armed forces of the United States. And whereas on January 27, 1973, the Paris Peace Accords was signed, which required the release of all prisoners of war of the United States. And whereas more than 58,000 members of the armed forces of the United States lost their lives in the Vietnam War, and more than 300,000 members were wounded in Vietnam. And whereas in 1982, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial was dedicated in the District of Columbia to commemorate the members of the armed forces of the United States who died or were declared missing in action in Vietnam. And whereas the Vietnam War was extremely divisive, it was an extremely divisive issue among people of the United States, and a conflict that caused a generation of veterans to wait far too long for the public of the United States to acknowledge and honor their service. And whereas designating March 29, 2019 as Vietnam Veterans Day would be an appropriate way to honor the members of the Armed Forces of the United States who served in South Vietnam and throughout Southeast Asia during the Vietnam War. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby designates March 29, 2019 as Vietnam Veterans Day in honor of the men and women of the United States Armed Forces who served in Vietnam, and encourages the community to observe Vietnam Veterans Day with appropriate ceremonies and activities. Dated this 26th day of March 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
And if there are any other Vietnam veterans, please join us. Dennis, here you go.
Thank you so
Do you want to say a few words?
Judge, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen of the public, thank you so much for having me today. Truly honored to be here before you all. This does mean a lot to not just me, but to all Vietnam veterans and Vietnam-era veterans as well. As you well know, 4% of the population, 0.4% of the population serve country. That's less than 1%. And it's a big burden on the families as well. It's a burden on not just the families, but the country as well, budgetarily speaking. But it's something that's well worth. Serving country, there's nothing nobler than serving country other than serving God. And I know that every veteran that's here today, present today, including myself, and veterans that I know, disabled veterans, will say the same thing, is that we would do it all over again with no regrets. So thank you so much. God bless you all. God bless you all here in attendance today, and God bless our United States of America.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On the count of three, please. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The mayor. Next item, I'm going to move item 18A. It's a resolution to honor Mayor Vela. If you could please come forward with that.
Thank you. Julia Sullivan again. Presenting for Precinct 3, Commissioner Joe Flores. Item 18A is a resolution in honor of Mayor Salvador Vela. Whereas Salvador Vela has served the community of Alton for more than 40 years, serving on the inaugural City Commission in 1978, when the city was established after residents adopted a general rule charter. And whereas he was elected mayor in 1990 and has served in that position for 28 consecutive years. And whereas Mayor Vela has led the development of Alton from a poor rural community of colonias to a thriving small town with modern amenities and services. And whereas Mayor Vela is renowned for his commitment to changing the face of his community, to assure that residents have a voice in government and the best opportunities possible. And whereas some of his most recent initiatives and projects include bridging the digital divide in the city of Alton by providing free citywide Wi-Fi, extending sewer services to outside of city limits to support new development, expanding Josefa Garcia Memorial Park from 5 to 55 acres, and widening 5-mile line from La Homa Road to Sherry Road to 5 lanes by 2024. And whereas throughout his career, Mayor Vela has been recognized for his leadership, strong work ethic, and his love for community and family. He's never forgotten his roots, and throughout his years of service has strived to assist as many people in his community as possible and continue to grow and improve the city of Alton. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby honors Mayor Salvador Vela for his outstanding service, dedication, and commitment to serving the residents of the city of Alton, dated this 26th day of March 2019.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. It's really an honor for me to get this resolution from the Commissioners Court. And I would think that it was Commissioner Joe Flores that brought it forward, because he's my commissioner over there. And I want to say something about Joe Flores. Joe Flores, to me, he's the greatest. I mean, right now we're working with him on the highways and everything we call on Joe, he's there. And so I appreciate it, Joe, for all you did for Alton. I wanna right now I want to present some of my administration that's here today. I couldn't do in Alton what I do without the former Mr. Arcaute, which is here right now. With the new manager right now, Jeff Underwood. Of course, the city secretary, and Ms. I forgot. Secretary would be Delia and Ms. Teo, and of course our CEO Steve Peña with the Development Corporation, and of course Sam Mercado with the Boys Club, and does all the activities. I couldn't be without Sam. And of course, the Chief Jonathan, been the greatest thing for Alton would be Chief Flores. Chief Jonathan Flores. He's here. He runs the top department. Of course, Fire Chief Garcia is here. These are the greatest of Alton right now, gentlemen. I wanted you to look at them right there. That is what makes Alton great. And of course, I got my Mayor Pro Tem, which is here, on my side, and his pretty wife, and also the other 3 commissioners that couldn't make it. You see, in Alton grows because we're united. And I attribute that to God's help that we were running the city. When we started, Alton didn't have any money. I remember when I came in there. $250 in the bank, and that's all we had. We had to go for loans. Could you believe that? And of course, after and of course, once you start running the city right and everything falls into its place, if you get the right managers. Well, we had one manager that didn't do very good, but he got jailed. Because you trust a manager for doing the job. No, you don't have to be checking the damn books and you believe in him, but I'll tell you, Mr. Arcaute, when he came in Alton, man, that was the greatest achievement we made. When he came in, he said, Mayor, Alton is the same size as San Juan when I came in there. So I told Mr. Alcalde, so that means you're going to run Alton in a coffee break. And the result is what's now right now. And of course, Jeff was trained by Mr. Alcalde, so Jeff is going to do great, and I know. And gentlemen, thank you very much for honoring me. And you all are doing a great job. Hidalgo County is growing by leaps and bounds. It's because of your leadership. And of course, Judge, you just came aboard. You just follow these commissioners. They'll do a great job. Of course, you got a good attorney, and everything's running good. And God bless you guys.
Thank you very much.
Y'all, after the family photo with Commissioners Court, can the rest of the city representatives come on up as well for a second photo? Thank you. Stand on the pattern carpet on either side. Either side of the middle. Either that side. Right here. Yes, thank you, sir. One, two, three. Please. 1, 2, and 3. Smile, please. Thank you.
One more.
Not in the center.
You can see way above you, right?
He's tall enough.
He's tall enough. He knows where to stand.
Stand on the pattern carpet, please. Single walk for commissioners.
¿Has hecho la mujer? Okay, the next one is proclamation declaring April month of the military child.
Move for approval?
Gotta read the
Action item. Oh,
Yeah.
proclamation.
Excuse me,
Where-
Judge, I was chasing the, I was chasing the proclamation.
Okay,
What is this one?
military child.
Thank you. Good morning again. Julia Sullivan,
Okay.
Mike's gonna-
I want to make sure you're on camera.
Okay. Speak up, Judy, because we couldn't hear you.
Okay, thank you. Julia Sullivan presenting for Judge Cortez. Item 5B is a proclamation designating April as Month of the Military Child. Whereas thousands of Texans have shown bravery and commitment in protecting our nation's freedom by serving in the United States Armed Forces, and whereas the Rio Grande Valley is proud to be home to countless children whose parents served or have served in America's military, and whereas military-connected children face unique challenges that most youth their age do not experience as a result of constant moves, having a parent that's deployed, coping with a parent who has combat-related illnesses and or injuries, or grieving the loss of a fallen parent. And whereas the social and emotional well-being of children in military families is crucial to their success and has a direct impact on the family's dynamics. And whereas for the last 32 years, the United States Department of Defense has paid tribute to military children during the month of April by recognizing their sacrifices and applauding their courage. And whereas April 10th is Purple Up for Military Kids Day, purple symbolizes the combined colors of all the branches of the military: Army green, Coast Guard blue, Air Force blue, Marine red, and Navy blue. On this day, everyone's encouraged to wear the color purple in support of and to thank military children. And whereas by ensuring military-connected children are supported and celebrated in our communities as well as schools, our military families can be comforted knowing that their children are a source of pride and honor for all. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim April as Month of the Military Child in tribute to their sacrifices and courage, and encourages all residents to wear the color purple on Wednesday, April 10th, dated this 26th day of March 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Please stay there. Representing the significance of children, of veterans, we have with us Leilani and her mother, Mrs. Norma Longoria. And if you'd like to say a few words. And here's.
Oh my goodness, this has been 3 years in the making. This is very emotional for me. And of course, my daughter Leilani as well. My name is Norma Longoria. I did serve the Army as a combat medic and also an Army band's person playing oboe and traveling all over the nation. Very proud of what I've done. And Leilani's dad also served, and he retired. I retired after 23 years. So we're enjoying ourselves right now. In short, the experiences that our children go through, not only for my daughter, but for all children involved, it's extremely difficult to leave them and extremely difficult to see the parent leave. And for long amounts of, for long periods of time. And to comfort your child is something beyond that. You have to stay strong, either the dad or the mom having to stay home. And our children, they go through so much. They have so much resilience. Being near a military base, this is in fact, of course, our military base is about 3.5 hours away, Fort Sam Houston. And they celebrate April, the entire month of April. It's so amazing what they have for military children, in the immediate area, obviously. But here that we're outside of the military realm, of course, we'd love to do the same for our children. We don't know that our children are not going to speak out of how they're feeling inside. And, other children, it may seem as if they're getting bullied. Well, where's your mom? Or where's your dad? We never see them around. And our military children, they don't experience what children in this area experience. They have their tias, they have their tios and grandmas and grandpas right there, and our children don't. We have extended family all over the nation. So this is a total honor to receive and to learn more about, what they go through. My daughter, she's a junior Miss U.S. Galaxy right now. She represents the U.S., and she's also one of the ambassadors for military-connected children here in the RGV. They're, hopefully we would get more children involved, and we would love to invite everybody, all of you all, and also the military children anywhere, anybody that's in here that can invite military-affiliated families to come to our celebration April 27th at IMUS. So we really, really, really appreciate this proclamation. We've been waiting for this for a long time. It means a lot. Thank you. On the count of three, please. Everybody smile. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Felix, thank you.
It's a good thing you do.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was very nice. I'm going to move another item on the agenda, item number 19A, resolution to honor Manuel Carranza.
Judge, we're waiting for a family member to arrive.
We can wait, okay?
Thank you,
then
sir.
Let's go through a proclamation regarding the Great American Cleanup and Don't Mess with Texas Trash Off Day. I was wondering where those people in green meant.
Item 5C is a proclamation declaring April 13th, 2019 as the Great American Cleanup and Don't Mess with Texas Trash Off Day. Joining us are members, as you can see in green, of Keep McAllen Beautiful, Inc. And with us is Program Coordinator Chris Slash, who'll be saying a few words in a moment. Board members Claudia Gutierrez, Mary Gonzalez, Mike McClure, Norma Linda Zepeda, and Don Medina. And Administrative Clerk Claudia Gutierrez. Oh, I had her twice, sorry. Whereas Keep America Beautiful, Inc. and Keep Texas Beautiful, Inc. in partnership with national sponsors have established the Great American Cleanup, which is the largest grassroots effort in the nation to organize and bring national attention to community improvement activities undertaken by its participating organizations. And whereas the Don't Mess with Texas Trash Off encourages Texans to volunteer and clear Texas roadsides of trash. The Trash Off is the single largest one-day cleanup event in the state and serves as the signature event for the Great American Cleanup. And whereas Keep McAllen Beautiful, Inc., a nonprofit organization who strives to empower individuals to take greater responsibility for enhancing their community environments. And whereas caring citizens and volunteers of McAllen, surrounding communities, and all of the McAllen Independent School District campuses are committed and proud to do their part to sustain and improve the quality of life. And whereas Hidalgo County wishes to support the Great American Cleanup and Don't Mess with Texas Trash Off Day by encouraging neighborhood cleanups and organizations such as Keep McAllen Beautiful, Inc. in their efforts to clean up events. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim April 13th, 2019 as the Great American Cleanup and Texas Trash Off Day, dated this 26th day of April 2019.
Move for
They have a
approval.
motion.
Approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners Court. We appreciate you guys having us here. We talk about growth all over the valley. This has become more important to us every year, and we encourage everyone to participate, to come and join us at McAllen Municipal Park on April 13th. This will be a litter cleanup throughout the city, but again, this impacts the whole valley. It's becoming more important for us to become environmentally connected. And this is great for children and young people to join us for community service hours that they need. But it also helps us because whether we live, work, or play in McAllen, we all have a vested interest in the area. So I encourage everyone to join us. And thank you so much again for having us here.
Everybody show us on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Okay, next item is item 6A, District Attorney's Office.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Judge Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 6A is a DA Victims Unit Court Advocate Project Grant, Fund 1281. We're asking for approval to submit a ViewCap grant number 3596401, budget adjustment to the Office of the Governor.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 6B, Hidalgo County DA's Office, Region 3 Border Prosecution Grant, Fund 1281. We're asking for approval to submit a BPU grant number 2537808, budget adjustment to the Office of the Governor.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 6C, Hidalgo County DA's Office, Victim Assistance Program, Grant Fund 1281. Approval to submit a VAP grant number 2924302, budget adjustment to the Office of the Governor.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Item 7A, Sheriff's Office.
Afternoon, Judges, Commissioners, Chief Herrera with the Sheriff's Office, Hidalgo County. 7A, authorization to accept a 1 Maxi ambulance 4-liter basic armor 2-door make M998, model year 1995 diesel, 8-cylinder, serial number 16-2014 from the Texas Leos program, formerly known as 1033 program, and to include vehicle in Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office asset inventory.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a question. What would this be used for?
This is a light armored ambulance vehicle that we would use with our tech medics. So if we have a situation where we use our SWAT team and an officer gets shot, it can go into the line of fire to protect our other officers to pull them out.
Okay.
As well as a rescue vehicle in times of flooding or whatever. It's a Humvee designed as an ambulance as well.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
7B, Sheriff's Office Leos Fund, 1220. Approval of certification of revenues as certified by county auditors for the 2019 Leos allocation payment of $39,082.92 received from the state comptrollers of public accounts.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
B2, approval of budget amendment as appropriated the 2019 Leo's acclamation of amounts of $39,082.92.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. I want to go to item 20A. We have a gentleman that needs to return to a big city.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners, Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget and Management. Item 20A is presentation, discussion of Hidalgo County's capital improvement plan and outstanding debt obligations. Judge, Commissioners, we do have a refunding opportunity that Mr. Noe Hinojosa from Estrada Hinojosa is going to present to the court, which would allow for small issuance this year to advance some of the projects that we have in our capital improvement plan. We're currently working with all the precincts to get some of those project sheets updated, and possibly we would like to see if maybe we could meet with the court next week in a workshop setting to discuss some of these projects and sort of discuss which will be the priority projects to fund for this issuance. But I'll have Mr. Hinojosa present the refunding opportunity and then the county's debt profile.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. Noe Hinojosa for the record, Estrada Hinojosa and Company. Basically, what you have received from my partner, Bobby Villarreal, which, by the way, I failed to mention to you earlier, he's passed one of 3 exams, so we're really excited about him getting this business and coming before you guys pretty soon. Right, Bobby? All right. So anyway, the debt portfolio, as you can see on the left on that first page or page 2, you'll find that the county has about 16 different notes. And the ones that are highlighted in green are the notes that we're talking about you refinancing. Then they have a rate right now of about 5%, and we're looking at probably taking them out and replace them with about 2 or 3%. What's important about those notes, though, you currently get a subsidy from the federal government. Back in 2010, when these financings were done in 2009, there was a program called the Build America Bonds program, and they made a commitment to help us pay about a third of the interest cost. So despite that contribution from the feds, we are able to actually lower your interest payments beyond their subsidy. So they will no longer subsidize us, but our interest costs will be much lower. Right now, we contemplate that the savings will be close to $1 million, but if not even $1.2 million, but we'll get there in a minute. And then on the right side is what the portfolio of the county looks like. And basically, the red line is your tax levy. That's the 7 cents you collect from INS, multiplied by $33 billion. And then that covers the blue and the gray only to a point. Right on top of that, we bring into account this court filing fee that is expected to bring in about $1.2 million, $1.2 million and a quarter. And that will help us pay for the courthouse bonds. As you can see, going back to the various loans you have, in 2018, we did a $114 million, or $118 million, 9 for that matter, courthouse financing, and then about $24,690,000 that was used for overall CIP projects. And then we did a refunding back then to restructure and basically soften the impact of the new money debt on the overall payment structure of the county's debt. So the tax rate, as you can see at the bottom, the tax rate's been 59 cents. It was 59 cents in 16 and 17, and then it was dropped to 58 cents in 18 and 19. 7 cents is allocated to pay debt, and that's where we are. The ratings back then when we went and offered the courthouse financing was a AA2 by Moody's and AA- by S&P, and that allowed us to have a successful financing back then. As I turn the page and you look at the spreadsheet, you're going to see various columns. What's in blue, it's empty now. That's what we're thinking about. We're thinking about inserting some numbers in a minute after I go to this page. What's in green is what the county gets from other sources in its attempt to lower the annual payments that are paid by property taxes. So very quickly, the court filing fee, and that was put in place about 3 years ago with the assistance from the legislature. We got about $1.25 million right now that is generated specifically to pay off courthouse bonds. Then the normal subsidy or the normal transfer over comes from the operating budget at a tune of about $1 million a year, Sergio. And then there's an additional M&O contribution of $518,461, and that's basically to cover equipment financing for the courthouse. Once the courthouse is expected to be complete, the county will do sometime in 2020. If you see the lighted pink there, the lighted shaded pink, you'll see a PPFCO. That's an equipment financing to fund the projects or to fund the furniture and equipment required at the courthouse, and that's about $9 million. And we expect that to be paid by the operating budget. And then we have another column called additional. That additional column is basically a combination of two things. One is the accumulated savings generated by the court filing fee. We have collected about 3.5 years of court filing fees, and the number that we have accumulated there is about close to $4 million. So, and then also we have another fund called the Debt Service Fund that has got about $5.5 million right now, so February 6th of 19. So together they got about $9.1 million. So when you go about adopting your budget, taking into account how much you owe, what your payments are, the tax rate, we hope, is never or will never be impacted at the 7 cents. And that's what's on the second column from right to left. And you'll see how the 7 cents remain pretty constant. So the question was, okay, if we have the ability to refinance some of our debt, what can the savings bring to the table, and what can we really do in terms of addressing or attempt to address more financing needs? So you turn the page over.
Well, before you turn the page
Please.
over, it's just,
Yes.
just so I can understand.
Yes, sir.
The not having to raise the 7 cent debt service tax rate assumes no more additional borrowings.
No more additional borrowings other than the $9 million for the equipment and $30 million in 2020 for other CIP projects. And it's in the light pink. So back in 18, when we did the courthouse financing, we actually were given the task of.
Okay, I got it. So you've got 30 million plus 9 for future borrowings.
That is
without
correct.
raising. Okay,
Yes.
I missed it. Thanks.
All right. So then when you turn the page over, so what do we get about this on this refinancing? And basically, let's just say that you pay $2 next year for what we're taking out in bonds. We will try to reduce that payment to $1. In this case, if you look at the first column in the blue, if we were to proceed with the refinancing, in 2020, the payment, instead of being $26,866,000, will be reduced by $492,000. And then in 2021, will be reduced by $413,000. So as we go about dissecting or taking out those payments, then we'll be bringing in, what if you were to finance $12 million? So the second blue column is, if we were to finance $12 million, what does that do? In order to get $12 million in today's market, you will borrow about $10,645,000. And that's a question of how we market bonds and so on and so forth. But we're looking at rates of 3.53. I'll give you a perspective. Just this morning we sold for Pflugerville ISD about $250 million, and he came out at 3.11. So we're using rates, we think, that are about 25 to 35 basis points higher than what we're using right here. So if you were to use the restructuring or the refinancing that will, in this case, we're showing you savings of $935,000. We think the savings may be about $1.2 million, but we're trying to be conservative for you because this will take about 45 days to do if you were interested in doing it. At the end, you'll see how we keep the same columns, the pink columns, and the tax rate remains at the 7 cents. What's important here is that column that says additional. That's sort of your savings account. So if you look at the bottom of that column, we end up depleting literally all the savings of the INS fund and the court filing fee. But to be frank with you, your growth of this county has been on average of 4.5% to 5.5%. If you look at the property value growth in our projections, you're at 3% and 2.5%. So basically, we're pretty confident that you'll be able to sustain that if you were to do anything this year. Now, I understand at the last minute, I think, well, not the last minute, but Mr. Cruz gave us a list yesterday, about 19 million six.
Right now, tentatively.
Yeah. So you
Tentatively, it would be about 19 million. Again, that's one of the things I would like to have the workshop for next week, so we can discuss each of the projects that we need as far as in relation to the courthouse, in relations to detention barracks for the sheriff's office, vehicles for law enforcement, some other capital needs that we have that we sort of want to present to the court and maybe have the option to maybe go ahead and proceed with some of those capital expenditures as well.
Weren't we gonna replace the sheriff's autos every other year or so?
Basically, we need to replace roughly about between 50 to 60 vehicles every year.
Yes.
In order to be able to have a functioning rotation for each of the patrol deputies. What would have happened in the past is they would use the same vehicle for every shift. Thus, the wear and tear of those vehicles was very rapid. So we went, about 4 years ago, we went and issued some tax notes to replace some of those vehicles. And we've been replacing some of those every year. And that's sort of this year, we sort of, meeting with the sheriff, they feel that there's a couple of vehicles that they need to be replaced because of the repair and maintenance to those vehicles that's occurring. So that's what we're looking at, replacing more of those vehicles for the sheriff and for the constables.
So, as you go forward with the budget, maybe next week or the following week, then if you go to page 5, if you were to proceed in something like this, we will need your directive, in 2 to 3 weeks' time. And then after that, we got to go through a series of steps to come to the market, maybe sometime in May, on this project. So thought we'd share that with you. And if there are any additional questions, happy to entertain those.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I understand.
Please, sir.
What you presented here. If you go back to this chart here.
Sure.
Basically, what you're telling us is that our tax rate here serves us to this point. Obviously, we're over that. We need more than what the taxes are giving us, but we have additional revenues.
Yes.
That covers the difference.
Not included in that line, red line. It's another line that I felt to include was the other revenue sources. You got M&O contributing to you at a tune of about $1.5 million.
Yeah, basically, it's the delinquent taxes and penalties and interest that we generate a little bit over $1 million in that also gets factored into the debt service fund.
And then the court filing fee that is not there. So you got about $2.25 million that can be added to that red line.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But you didn't put it to be conservative.
That's right.
All right. So then you're telling us that we can go ahead and borrow basically $39 million without increasing the M&O.
That's right.
The INS.
Yeah, that was based on the 18 scenario.
Okay.
And then because
based on conservative growth percentages,
Conservative
3%. Normally, I think over the last 3 years, it's been about 5% on average.
Okay. And have you all, do you all have a schedule of capital need improvements going forward as to what you think are going to be those
Yes, we do
needs?
have the schedule of the capital projects, and we're working with each of the precincts to fine tune the priority projects and which ones they would like to present to the court.
Okay.
That's what we want to have next week, present to the court all the projects and hopefully get a consensus as to which ones should be funded.
Okay. And will those capital improvements, will they require borrowing?
Yes.
Okay. So if we were to go past this 39 million for anything else, road and bridges or whatever, it would require a tax increase. If, without considering the conservative projections that you're doing on.
And without considering the refunding that's being proposed for the 2009 and 2010 BABs.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thanks.
So, Judge Commissioner, there's no action that needs to be taken, just a presentation, discussion. Again, I hope to have that workshop scheduled for next Tuesday at regular court time. So we'll wait and present that information to you next week.
Okay. I believe the family is here already, so I'd like to go to item 19A, resolution to honor Manuel Carranza.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Jennifer Mendoza Culbertson. I'd like to present a resolution in honor of Juan Manuel Carranza for his service. Whereas Hidalgo County Precinct 4 is honoring Juan Miguel Carranza for his distinguished public service to the precinct since June 1983. And whereas he was born on September 27, 1956, to Froilan and Inez Carranza in Lima, Ohio. Juan Manuel is one of 10 siblings, 5 brothers and 4 sisters. He is happily married to Maria Carranza and together have a daughter, Cindy Marie Barrientos, and grandchildren Maximus and Caroline Barrientos. And whereas Mr. Carranza is a proud graduate of Edinburgh High School, class of 1977, home of the Bobcats. And whereas he began his journey with Hidalgo County Precinct 4 on June 22, 1983. He was promoted to foreman by Commissioner Leonardo Camarillo in 1997. Mr. Carranza continued his service under Commissioner Guadalupe Garces as an assistant foreman. Mr. Carranza served as a general foreman and was promoted to Community Service Director, Special Projects Coordinator of Sanitation, and to Chief Administrator in 1999 by Commissioner Oscar Garza. And whereas in 2011, under Commissioner Joseph Palacios, Mr. Carranza served as an Assistant Field Operations Director for the Road and Bridge Department, managing several field employees. And whereas Mr. Carranza was a dedicated, committed, and exemplary leader who worked to enhance and service the needs of our community by leading several projects to improve the quality of life and impact the constituents of Hidalgo County. And whereas Mr. Carranza retired in December 2018 after dedicating 35 and a half years to Hidalgo County. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby supports the resolution dated this 26th day of March 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I just want to thank Commissioner Torres and the Commissioner Court and County Judge. Thank you very much.
Thank you. But he's arrived five commissioners. Oh.
I didn't have the honor.
We should put a crown on you.
I've only had the honor of recognizing him. Hold your plaque up, sir. Mr. Carranza, hold up your plaque.
Okay, everybody look forward, please. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Don't wear a shirt like that today. Purple.
Thank you.
Mayor, Judge.
It wasn't the same without you last night, man.
I heard. Commissioner.
Felicidades.
Felicidades.
Congratulations. Okay, I think we're back to our agenda. Item 8A, Executive Office.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Oh, you know
You know
what?
what?
Yeah,
Could
you know
you-
what? Why don't we go to open or closed session?
No, public forum.
Public forum, excuse me.
We do have a
Yes,
participant.
we're going to go into public forum. We have Laura Guerra that has signed up. If she could please come forward.
I'm going to please remind the audience to please respect the speaker's time at the podium. There is a 3-minute time limit, and I will advise when there is 1 minute.
Hello, good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Laura Guerra. I'm here with Arise. And on behalf of the community and the organization, we'd like to thank Commissioner Eli Torres for setting some time on multiple occasions to listen to our community and our needs. So we're really grateful for that. And we'd also like to thank, I don't think he's here, Commissioner Eddie Cantu, but also his chief of staff and the rest of his staff that welcomed us and our community for a community regarding cleanups and also some concerns for street lighting. We'd like to thank the Precinct 2, and we hope we can continue this collaboration in the future. And we're really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to item 8A.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. There's no action under item 8A 1 and 2 today. Item 8B is discussion and action on resolution authorizing the resale of certain struck-off properties. On May 7th, 2019, there is an attached list, and this is being facilitated by Lineberger.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2 is consideration for approval of private bid submitted by the City of Alamo. We do have, Mr. Cano? Yes.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Just for the record, Michael Cano, partner with Linebarger. You're dealing with tax attorneys. I want to hear on a couple of agenda items. I believe the first already has been approved. The second is a consideration and approval for private bid submitted by the City of Alamo. This is basically a property that was struck that has been foreclosed on for not paying their taxes. It failed to receive a bid when it was sold, so the county does hold it in trust along with the city. The city would like to purchase it so they can maintain the property. It's an irregular lot on the entrance of a neighborhood, so it's not feasible to build anything on it. And I believe the city just wants to use it as a green space.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8C, Judge Commissioners, is a request, is requesting permission by Museum of South Texas History to use the county parking lots near the museum for visitor parking for the Big Squeeze event on Saturday, to be held on Saturday, April 27th of this year.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item D, Judge Commissioners, is discussion, consideration, and action to authorize myself, Valdeguerra, to enter into agreement with TCEQ for Hidalgo County to use the State of Texas Environmental Electronic Reporting System, known as STEERS, to submit the annual Tier 2 chemical reports.
Move approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item E is approval to accept the settlement check from American Access Casualty Company in the amount of $2,422, and this will settle an auto accident claim with one of our county vehicles.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item F is approval to accept settlement money order from Juana Maria Rios in the amount of $917.88, and this is to settle an auto accident claim with one of our county vehicles.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Nine A, Human Resources.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Raul Silguero representing the Department of Human Resources.
Item 9A, first we need action on this item. It's requesting a waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments for personnel list items that will be listed below.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B relates to the classification and compensation of a position in the Information Technology Department, the Director. I think it's scheduled for executive session, so I'll defer for that action. It needs to be discussed. And I'll move on to item C. Also for the Department of Information Technology. Actually, I want to read D first. We need to take action on D first. It says classification and compensation plan, approval of the following classified position inventory list changes. We're simply changing the regrading, some changes in the classified position list. One is the Assistant Director for Information Technology position. This is a vacant position. It's listed as, it's graded as an 18 right now. We propose to regrade it to a 20 as part of a restructuring in the department, and we're asking to delete the position of child welfare, the title of child welfare specialist, which is a position that we use with that we provide with the Department of Public Welfare and with protective services. So we want to make those changes to the position list.
This is not going to include any additional monies, right?
No, sir. No changes.
Move for approval.
Okay, so we're asking number 2 approval to revise the position list, inventory list accordingly.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 I'll go back to C.
Excuse me,
since
motion
that's
passes.
now appropriate. Item C, approval of the following personnel actions effective upon Commissioner's Court approval is we're asking to delete slot number 044, which is vacant, Information Technology Senior Manager 2, grade 19, and to create Assistant Director, Information Technology at a grade 20.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Item E on the next page is discussion, consideration, approval to extend internship approved by Commissioner's Court on 1/15/2019 for Anisa Vasquez as a volunteer intern under the Hidalgo County Auditor's Office through April 12, 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Item F for the Elections Department, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. The department is asking to delete slot number 0145, Supervisor 3, voter registration, which is at grade 13, and to create 2 other positions, GS Operator 2, slot 202, and Operator 3, slot 203, grade 9 and 11 respectively. The department is restructuring a little bit where they will, instead of having a Supervisor 3 and 2 1s, they're going to have a GIS Operator 3, 2, and a 1. They're going to have like a career ladder. We will be bringing the vacant, the Operator 1 that will become vacant, so it'll be a wash.
Move for approval.
Second.
We received notice that says pursuant to the fiscal note that says that funding is requested for this personnel action is undetermined.
Yes, sir. I forgot to indicate in the beginning, all these items are subject to funding from that. Approval will be is being requested subject to funding. Normally, we don't anticipate any issues with the funding. It's just that since we don't know whether the court is going to take action or not, we have not pre-funded the positions, but they will not be changed unless funding is approved or provided.
In the elections, only for elections, right?
There are several positions that are also subject to funding.
Earlier, when I said, is this any additional money? You said
No, but there was no funding required
right.
on that one, right? No, I'll indicate the ones that may need funding.
Why don't we modify the motion in the second, subject to funding?
Yeah.
Funding
Okay.
approval.
Subject to funding.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. I vote aye also.
Item G is precinct 4, and it's approval of, we're continuing to work with Commissioner Torres on personnel changes and adjustments, budgeting, and so forth. It should read approval of the following personnel actions reclassifications as per Exhibit A, effective next full pay period. The exhibit includes some reclassifications down, some reclassifications up, and some reassignments from one department to another, as listed on the exhibit. We concur with the recommendations of Commissioner Torres.
Move for approval.
Second.
Funding then, it would be subject to funding as well, Mr. Silguero, as there's a...
There shouldn't be a funding issue. It's actually a saving money for the commissioner. It's, yeah. These are road and bridge, most of the positions.
It's general fund and road and bridge.
Both, right.
General fund doesn't have fund.
Okay.
So
we'll be subject to funding.
Right,
Subject
and
to
that'll get
funding.
addressed.
Okay.
Okay.
Did Exhibit A, did everything get turned in?
The exhibit A is attached.
It's attached already, okay.
Funding.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Item H for the Sheriff's Department. The Sheriff's Department provides clothing allowance to certain deputies. They're asking to delete clothing allowance because they transfer that here and there. Delete clothing allowance for 4 positions that are listed, $500 a month. So they're deleting 4, and then they're adding clothing allowance to 3 other positions as listed. So we're asking for approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item I for the Office of the Public Defender, approval of the following discretionary step adjustment pursuant to Section 8.03 of the Classification and Compensation Plan, effective next full pay period. The plan allows new hires to be given a discretionary step if they exceed the minimum requirement substantially. So we're asking for approval of that discretionary step for slot number 008, Public Defender 2, from step 1 to step 2 of the grade.
Move for approval.
Second.
And Judge Commissioners, that would, your motion then would also include, with respect to...
Subject to funding.
Subject to the step improvement? Okay. And just as a matter of correction, it should...
Also, yes, I'm sorry, there's a program number,
should
it's a typo. It should be Department...
003, you said 003. Yeah.
003.
Yeah, you did say 003.
Okay.
Okay. So
Subject to funding.
we have a motion. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone
Item
opposed?
J.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item J for the District Attorney's Office. The District Attorney is asking to delete Assistant District Attorney 2, slot 001, at grade 15, step 1, and to create Assistant District Attorney 4. This is simply a case where the District Attorney is moving a general fund funded position into a grant funded position. So there's no increase in total compensation for the attorney. He's simply being funded out of a grant instead of general fund. And the other one listed there is the deletion of a criminal investigator 2, which is a grade 14, slot 002, and the creation of a criminal investigator 1, which is a grade 12 at lower level. So there's no funding implications there. So we're asking approval to delete the 2 positions and create the 2 positions.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 2 on this item is approval to transfer employee number 212334 to program 080-021, slot number 004. That's a grade 19, step 3, effective upon Commissioner's Court's approval. That would be the attorney from above.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item K for Justice of the Peace, Munoz and Precinct 2, Place 2, subject to funding, approval to create 2 temporary full-time positions for 14 weeks beginning 3/26/2019 and ending 6/30/2019. The judge has 2 positions that are out on family medical leave, FMLA, that will be out for a period of time, and so the judge is asking some assistance if the court will approve 2 temporary positions for 14 weeks, subject to funding.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item L for Precinct 1, road maintenance, approval to create, and this is road and bridge money, Precinct 1, approval to create 2 temporary full-time positions for 27 weeks, beginning 4/1/2019 and ending 9/30/2019, creating slots T170 and T171, maintenance 2 at grade 5.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And the related item is approval of an intra-departmental transfer.
Move for approval?
Okay, move second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item M, agenda item M is Precinct 3, Sanitation and Parks, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. The precinct is asking to delete 2 slots, slot 0007 and slot 0014, equipment operator 1 and program 08, and slot number 014, sanitation attendant 3, and to create 2 new slots, 0024, maintenance 3, and 0052, maintenance 2, with the listed grades.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item 2 on that agenda item is approval of the interdepartmental transfer.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
Item N for facilities, Mr. Guerra has agreed with facilities and the precinct to create slot number 0125, custodian 1. We have a situation where we have a custodian assigned to a precinct, but it's under the precinct, and we've been moving custodians to facilities. They're all under facilities. There's some that still exist, and we're making that transition. So we need to create a slot. It's a custodian 1, and this would be also subject to funding.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, motion carries.
Item O for the Child Welfare Department. The Child Welfare, again, as I mentioned, we provide 3 positions to the state Child Protective Program. The title that they were using was Child Welfare Specialist, but in reality, the Protective Services workers, they actually just assist the caseworkers, so they wanted to change the title. So they're asking that we change the title from the current title of Child Welfare Specialist for those 3 slots to Administrative Assistant 2, no change in funding. They're at the same grade, just a change in title.
Move for approval?
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, motion carries.
Item P, discussion, consideration, and all appropriate action to adjust the monthly longevity pay amount for Sheriff Department deputies and detention officers from $5 a month to $6 a month for each year of service in the department up to and including 25 years of service as per section 152.074 of the Texas Local Government Code effective next full pay period. Judge, Commissioners, there's 2 sections in the code. One, it allows or it requires that we provide longevity pay of not less than $5 a month to each deputy up to 25 years. The code also allows the county to provide longevity pay to other employees not less than $5 for up to 30 years. The maximum under the county portion would be to an employee could, after 30 years, get a maximum of $1,800 in longevity pay, whereas the sheriff's deputies were limited to $1,500 because of the 25 years. So this action, as recommended by Mr. Guerra, would pay the deputy $6 a month, and in the end, after 25, they would max out at $1,800, the same as county employees. That's why he's recommending this action.
Move for approval. Second.
Have you all done the math? Because what's been reported to me is that you end up at 1,800, which is equal, obviously, but during the period of time.
During the 25 years, one is getting $5 a month, and the other is getting $6 a month.
Okay,
Right.
so is that what you want to do?
Yes, because for regular employees, Judge, $5 a month equals to $60 a year times 30 is $1,800. At $6 a month for the sheriff's deputies and jailers, it would be, that is $6 a month equals $72 a year times 25 equals $1,800. And so, yes, that's what we'd like to do.
I think the end goal is that when you reach 25 on the deputy side, you get 1,800 max. Going forward, all the way 30, 35, and on the county, after 30, you would get 1,800.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that what you want to do is what you're doing, okay? So,
I want to do what Mr. Guerra wants me to do.
I want to make sure Mr. Guerra knows what he's doing, so.
He does.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second.
And
Any
we
further
will-
discussion?
My apologies, and we will address the funding as well, correct?
Yes, that's
Thank you.
correct. It's
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, say yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Item Q is related to that one. We have an employee, and I guess that comes into play. We have employees that work a number of years at the sheriff's department, and then they come to another position on the county side, and the longevity, which one applies and which doesn't. So we had an employee who has more than 30 years and was being limited to the 1,500. So we're asking that we, because of all the years that they worked on the county side, that we use the policy as above. So we're asking approval to pay employee number 13781 the amount as listed on Exhibit A in accordance with the Hidalgo County longevity policy, which would compensate him for that. I think it's a total of about $600.
Move for approval.
Just a question.
What is that?
Have you looked at the issue of back pay?
Mr. Crane, I don't believe this would be back pay because the individual in question was earning it, and then because he was a county employee, when he went over to law enforcement, there was an action taken where it was taken away from him. So that was already a benefit that they had earned, and was taken back, and it was taken away. All we're doing is restoring what was already established for that individual.
Effective currently?
I'm sorry?
Effective currently?
Well, it would
from
be
this point on?
it would be the end result is after applicable taxes have been reduced during those time periods, had it not been taken away. And so then moving forward, that individual is maxed out, just like anyone who.
So this would be effective moving forward?
No, this is effective moving forward, but we are returning what was taken away.
The $6 a month is moving forward.
Moving forward.
The $600 is the compensation that he didn't get, that he was getting, but then it was
Taken out.
Yes.
We have consulted with the DA Civil Division, and we've looked at all aspects, and we believe this to be proper, and we've worked with the auditor's office, and we believe it to be proper.
One category has the ceiling at 25. If you go back to the category it was before, has the ceiling.
I think the concern is, the reason we brought this is we have an employee who has been a county employee for 30 years, and then he goes to work at the sheriff's office, and now he's limited to 25 years when he was here, simply because he went to another department that has a different limit, and so that was the issue that we were trying to.
And the benefit that he
to
earned
address.
was as a county employee, not, so. Ms.
Okay, any
Josephine?
further discussion? We have a motion to approve.
It's corrective pay.
The
Corrective
counselor
pay.
saying it's corrected pay, not back pay.
Right.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there any further discussion?
That's
All those
all
in
I
favor
have.
say aye.
That's all I have, Judge and Commissioners. I think we have a.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
May we
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead and vote on the motion?
Oh, yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Go ahead now.
Oh, thank you, sir, I'm sorry. That's all I have. We will have the one item that's an executive session, and I will be here for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did we do Q? Yes, that was it. That
That's
was
the
it.
one we were. that's the one we were. Item 10A.
Good afternoon. Diana Serna for the Urban County Program. We have agenda item 10A. Subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, we're requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with MJA Construction LLC, the lowest responsible bidder in the amount of $165,401.50, utilizing the City of La Joya Street Improvement line item for fiscal years 2014 and 2015.
Approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
I have a question for Steve before I read out item 2. Steve, we put down the City of Palmview, but it's actually the City of Sullivan City. Is it all right if I correct it for the record and proceed?
Can you wait till next week?
2 weeks?
No, I am.
We're having a meeting next
not
week.
We are having a meeting next
Okay,
week.
then I can wait for next week on
Okay,
this one.
great. So no action.
No
on
action
B.
on B, yes. Okay, item C, if I may.
Yes.
Okay, approval of land acquisition parcel number 6 and parcel number 7 for the 2015 flood grant Trenton Drain Phase 2 and Phase 3 project, which is funded from the General Land Office, account number 18-271-000-A923.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, item D is the approval of the land acquisition of parcel number 3 for the 2015 flood grant Trenton Drain Phase 2 and Phase 3 project, also funded by the General Land Office, contract number 18-271-000-A923.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you. Community Service Agency, item 11A.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Jaime Longoria with the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency. Item 11A is discussion, consideration, and authorization for the Community Service Agency to submit the following applications to the Corporation for National and Community Service. Grant submission deadline is April 10th, 2019. For the Retired Senior Volunteer Program, the amount requested would be $76,751, and we're in year 3 of a 3-year grant cycle. The required match from the county would be 0. The Foster Grandparents Program, the amount submitted requested would be $254,569. We're in year 2, and the required county match would be $50,400. And the Senior Companion Program would be, the application would be for $448,799, year 2, and the county match would be $28,650.
Move for approval.
Second, with a question. What about the county match?
The county match? Yes, sir. We've when we applied for those 2 other programs last year, we requested the county. We notified the county that we would be.
Do we have them set aside?
With respect to
The
the
money,
match,
the match.
the county match, I'd have to defer to Sergio.
Do we have it, Sergio? It's about $78,000.
Oh, you need to transfer it from our, okay, so there needs to be the transfer, so.
Thank you.
We disclosed in year 1 that it would be a 3-year grant, and there would be a match required. Yes, sir.
Okay, any further discussion? We have a motion to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B would be discussion, consideration, and action on amendment to the fiscal year 2018 Community Service Block Grant, contract number 611-800-2861 from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, with authorization for Jaime Longoria to sign any and all pertinent documents. What this is, Judge and Commissioners, is this amendment allows us to align our expenditures, end-of-year expenditures, with the final grant amount and close out the grant.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 11C is discussion, consideration, and action to authorize Hidalgo County Community Service Agency to enter into an agreement with Direct Energy LP for the purpose of funding energy assistance payments to customers of said company, referred to as Neighbor to Neighbor Program, with authorization for Jaime Longoria to sign any and all pertinent documents. This is a private funding that comes to us from the Direct Energy family of
Move for
companies.
approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
For the record, we did have the Civil Division review the agreement, and those changes have been noted if there was any. Item D is discussion, consideration, and action to approve the updated 2019 fiscal department policy as per recommended, I apologize for the typo, by the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency Advisory Board. I will notify the Commissioners Court that once the Advisory Board previewed the fiscal policies, those were forwarded over to our the Civil Division of the DA's office, and there are some comments and some editorial changes, and there is one subsequent change that they've asked us to entertain, and that is removing the procedures. There's a procedure that actually lists how we carry out ACH payments, for instance, a step-by-step procedure on our software. They've asked us to move that into a procedures manual and delete it completely from the fiscal policies manual. That's the substantive change to our fiscal policies.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item E is authorization to correct the previously approved personnel action on agenda item 68565, Commissioners Court 129 of 2019. We're going to delete slot 006, eligibility worker 3. The approved salary was posted at $44,261.98. Indeed, the correct salary should have been $45,900. and we should have created a position 0043, eligibility worker 2. The approved salary was posted at $28,922.40, and the correct salary should have been $29,801, sorry.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2 is authorization to take the following personnel action effective upon Commissioners Court approval. Delete slot number 0036, eligibility worker 1, $25,709, and create slot number 0044, eligibility worker 2, $29,801. These salaries are in line. We're trying to make them line up with our personnel step and grade. Although we're not part of the step and grade system, we want to make sure that we're aligned, and at said time that we work with the county to become part of that we will be more in line with that.
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 3 is authorization to update the position listing salary schedule for the affected budgets.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Item
What
F.
about
no?
item F?
Item F?
I think it-
Jaime, item F?
Item F?
Oh, okay. I'm on the wrong page here. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Discussion, consideration, and possible action on amendment to fiscal year 2019 Community Services Block Grant, contract number 611-9000-3053 from the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs for program year 2019 with authorization for Jaime Laguna to sign any and all pertinent documents. What this is one half of our CSBG allocation. Our complete allocation is $1.6 million roughly, and this is the $800,000, which is about half.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioner. Sorry about that.
Teresa Flores with the Hidalgo County Head Start Program. Letter A is discussion and approval to declare obsolete the attached list of items and transfer items to the county's approved auctioneer vendor for proper disposition. And we no longer can use them, and so we're ready to move them out.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Letter B is discussion approval of 2 memorandum of understanding MOUs between Hidalgo County Head Start Program and Weslaco ISD, Independent School District. Number 1 is the School Readiness Partnership Model, SRPM, and number 2 is the continuation to provide special services. Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Letter C is discussion approval to advertise and approval of statement of qualifications, requirements, and scope of services for the following. Number 1, medical and dental providers. Number 2, mental health providers. And number 3, sign language interpreting providers.
I need to abstain from this agenda item. I'm going to abstain from this
Abstain,
agenda
okay.
item.
Move for approval?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have. We do have the Week of the Young Child coming up. We'll be coming to you with a resolution. It is scheduled for April the 15th through the 18th, and you're invited to visit any of the days. This particular event is going to be taking place at the Fire Development and Research Center on Dicker Road, and more information will be forthcoming. Thank you very much.
Teresa, before you leave,
Yes.
but what percentage fall on the last 2 categories, mental health and sign language? What of the people that you serve? Do you have any idea?
How many?
Well, just that's a percentage. Say you have 100.
I would have to get you that
It's
information.
a small amount?
But no, it's not. And basically what happens is that many of the families qualify under the Medicaid and Medicare. And so what we have there is for those particular ones that do not qualify for that, and we're having to pay from our program. But I'd have to give you that information.
Okay, but
It's
you're
a very
saying
low
that-
percentage.
Oh, it is a low percentage.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Public Defender's Office, number 13.
It's a low percentage of what she has to cover. It doesn't
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Jimmy Gonzalez with the Hidalgo County Public Defender's Office. Here on item 13A, agenda item 69520, presentation of the Public Defender's Activity Report for 2018 caseload. I don't know if you have my attachments, but I do have attachments to this that represents our caseloads for the past 3 years. And I like to come periodically to explain what we've been doing in the office and tell you who we are and what we're doing every day. The first page on the agenda item I have, or my presentation, is our caseload for 2018. And what it shows that the bulk of our cases are misdemeanor cases, and we've been pretty steady on that the last 3 years. We have expanded into numerous other areas, predominantly felony cases. We do juveniles now, child welfare cases. And for the last 3 years, we've been expanding in a pilot project to do protective order cases and criminal non-support, which are child support cases. So what does that mean in dollars and cents and savings for 2018? What I did was every year the county submits numbers and reports to TIDC, Texas Indigent Defense Commission, stating what the county pays out in indigent cost to private court-appointed attorneys. What we've done is got an estimate of that, an average of that, and shown what the Public Defender's Office has absorbed from the private court-appointed attorneys. For 2018, we saw savings of over $1 million from misdemeanor, felony, juvenile, and child welfare cases. And we also saw savings of $120,000 for specialty courts. The Public Defender's Office is unique as that our office represents every client on any specialty court within this county, and there's 10 of them. The average payout for that is $12,000 per court on average. Our pilot project in the 430th District Court, through Judge Ramon's leadership, we are taking cases now the past 3 years. And last year we had savings to the county of over $36,800 without any addition to staff or salary. That's just our office absorbing those cases to show the county that the Public Defender's Office can save in different areas. We've done the same thing in Masters Courts 1 and 2 with the leadership of Judge Skino and Judge Nereda. We are taking cases, again, without any additional staff, any additional raise in salary, and we saved the county in those courts this past year $84,000. So for last year, an estimated $1.2 million have been saved just based on the cases we absorbed. Now, what are our projects for the future? Projects for the future, and we've spoken with Budget Office, I know I've spoken with the Executive Office about expanding the Public Defender's Office into felony, do additional felony cases. Currently, I'm the only one handling felony cases. I'm myself handling the caseload, but as the Budget Office has told you in the past, and I'm sure the Executive Office will tell you now, any way the Public Defender's Office is utilized, it's savings towards the county. So there's talk about expansions to the felony sections, misdemeanor section. There are plenty of grant opportunities we're looking at to have in-house immigration attorneys to help with that issue here on the border. In-house mental health public defenders that will assist jail overcrowding as these individuals unfortunately stay in the jail longer than usual and utilize medical treatment and transportation. The Public Defender's Office can help get them out faster. And doing paperless technology. We've been in contact or looking at several grants that would have computer systems for each of the attorneys using the Odyssey system and IT to go completely paperless, saving the county money. Is there any questions regarding my presentation?
What do you feel, if there's any abuse or not, of people claiming that they can't pay for their own lawyer?
There's that. There's an office called the Indigent Defense Office that should do that evaluation. But
should do, or they do?
I'm sorry, they do the evaluation. That's one part of it. They do an evaluation and sign what's called an appointment of counsel form, where they swear under oath that they're indigent. Now the problem with that is it's on an honor basis. So if they lie, if they're saying that they're underemployed or don't have funds, if they state it on an official document, it gets signed and they may get approved. The consequence of that is if they're found to be lying because it's an official document, then they could be charged with tampering of government records. And,
what percentage of those people that you represent are under some kind of surety bond?
I can't tell you exactly, but a high percentage. Most of our clients, because they're indigent, can't afford to bond out of jail, or they have immigration holds. So I would estimate, just top of my head, I would say at least 70% of them are on surety bonds, cash or surety bonds.
Well, you just said they don't have the money to buy the bond, but you're telling me now that 70% do have the bond. Or
Well, I'm sorry, they said PR bonds. I'm sorry, cash surety bonds, 70%.
I'm sorry.
The other 30% are PR
okay.
bonds.
They're in a non-financial bond.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do have a high percentage of that. Right now, we're having a high percentage of individuals in jail that have immigration holds, so they're unable to bond out. They're waiting for their cases to get filed and disposed of before they get
Okay. Do you have any suggestions how we can make that more efficient in determining the veracity of that honor system?
Well, that, no, I don't.
Okay,
I mean,
no,
I don't have any suggestions. I know with the healthcare system, there is software available to determine your indigent status. I don't know if that could be utilized also within your defense to make the same calculations to see if they're they qualify or not. But that's the only thing I could think of.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
No? I'd like to add one more thing, if I may. It's with a heavy heart, but I have submitted my letter of resignation to the executive office last week. My last day will be April 5th, 2019. But I'm still going to be seeing you guys. I'll still be around. I accepted a position with Linebarger, so I'll be working with Mr. Cano back there. We're talking just now. So I'll still be here assisting the citizens of Hidalgo County in a different capacity. But I want to take the opportunity to thank the Commissioners Court. I know some of you only for the first time or very recently, but I can't thank you enough. I've been in this position for over 14 years or over 13 years, with the county over 16 years. And I can tell you from my experience, the Commissioners Court, Mr. Guerra, Budget Office, the HR Department, and the Executive Office, Mr. Cruz, he's back there with the Budget Department. They've been very instrumental in helping me grow personal way, professional, and the office grow. I also want to thank Judge Fred Garza on County Court 4. He hired me back 13 years ago. It was a small office of 6 attorneys, and it wasn't very popular with the defense bar. We get a lot of pushback, but we've grown now to 18 attorneys or 18 complete staff. We're handling all this array of cases. And I just know the office will continue to grow with your guys' leadership and support, and I appreciate that. I also like to thank the judiciary. They've been very kind to me, the district attorney's office, and my employees. I've worked with them my coworkers for 16 years, and they know they're like family to me, not coworkers. So I want to thank you guys very much for all your support, and I know we'll see each other again in the future. You won't be left out in the cold, though. The office will be continued to run smoothly. I've spoken to Mr. Guerra, and we have an action plan. The office will continue to be run by my first assistant, Jose Bravo. He's here in the back over there. And by my deputy public defender, Larry Esparza. And they're going to continue to handle my caseload, handle all duties. And I know the county will continue to receive superior representation by our attorneys in court. So I want to thank you, everybody, very much. I appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Auditor's office.
Linda Fong for the Auditor's Office. Item 14A, requesting approval to submit the prorata tobacco settlement distribution county expenditure statement for 2019 to the Department of State Health Services and authorize county judge to execute the report.
For approval.
Second.
Is this based on a formula basis?
Yes, this is an annual report, and we submit our allowable expenditures, and then they return what our contribution will be, or what they're going to contribute to us, based on how much is available at the state level.
And who decides the breakdown of what you're requesting?
There's a form that we have to submit, and we get that information from the different departments of the county, health department, jail, the sheriff, and then other outside entities, and we submit that to the state, and then the state determines what the allocation is going to be to the county. And their formula is based on how much is available to them and how much, how much we report as allowable expenditures.
And when do we as a commissioners court validate, make those I mean, I'm trying.
We don't make
I just got here. I'm trying.
All we do is report to the state our expenditures. our allowable expenditures. That's all we do. The
Okay.
state then determines how to allocate the monies that they have available.
So the classification of expenditures is already determined. We don't take any action to say we'd rather to go here than there.
Right.
Okay. I got it. Thanks.
Action.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Planning Department.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. TJ Arredondo with the Planning Department. First item is a preliminary approval with the variance request. Santa Fe Terrace Precinct 2, in Precinct 2 is a 7-lot subdivision in the flood zone B. Drainage is natural percolation within the lots and runoff into El Gato roadside ditch. It was approved by the City of Alamo. Water and sanitary sewer will be provided by Military Highway Water Supply Corporation. The variance is to reduce the side setback off of El Gato Road from 20 feet to 15 feet, and we're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The next 5 items are for preliminary approval. First item, replat of Lot 2, Fidencio Garcia subdivision in Precinct 1 is a 2-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation and runoff into Monte Cristo roadside ditch. It's in the rural area of the county. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply, and sewer will be septic tanks. We're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Do you want to go through all 5 of them?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll
Next
take them
item,
all
Ruben
together.
Valdez subdivision Precinct 4, a 3-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage, natural percolation and runoff into Taylor roadside ditch. It was approved by the City of McAllen. Water and sewer provided by Sherryland Water Supply Corporation. Recommending approval as well. Next item, Resende subdivision in Precinct 4 is a 4-lot subdivision in the flood zone B. Drainage is natural percolation, surface runoff into Canton roadside ditch. Water is provided by the City of Vandenberg, and septic tanks will be used. We're recommending approval as well. Next item, Las Comadres, number 6 subdivision, Precinct 3, is a 66-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is a storm sewer system discharging into a drainage district number 1 regional detention facility, approximately half a mile southwest of the subdivision. It was approved by the City of Mission. Water will be provided by Agua Sud, and sewer will be septic tanks. 4 internal streets are to be paved by the developer, recommending approval as well. The next item is Pueblo de Palmas Phase 23, Precinct 4, an 89-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is a storm sewer system and detention by widening the existing drain ditch. It was approved by the City of Edinburgh. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply and sanitary sewer by the City of Edinburgh. 5 internal streets are to be paved by the developer, recommending approval. These are the 5 for preliminary.
Move for approval.
All those in favor say aye.
I have a question. Why does it say streetlights to be determined?
Because we're still working, it's a preliminary layout, we're still working on the locations and the number of streetlights.
But they will have streetlights.
By the time we get to final, we'll have that done.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is for final approval at Mirador Subdivision Precinct 4, a 1 multi-family lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is on-site detention with a proposed 8-inch PVC bleeder line connecting to an existing TxDOT inlet on FM 2128. It was approved by the City of Edinburgh. Water is provided by the City of Edinburgh, and septic tanks have been installed. We're recommending approval.
I move for approval.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
The last item is final approval with a financial guarantee. Mesquite Crossing subdivision in Precinct 1 is a 5-lot subdivision in a flood zone X. Drainage is natural percolation and runoff discharging into an existing TxDOT system. It's in the rural area of the county. Water is provided by North Alamo Water Supply, and 5 septic tanks have been escrowed. We're recommending final approval with a cash deposit in the amount of $8,700 for 5 septic tank systems and 2 shared driveways.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Item 16A, requesting approval to accept the counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as parcel number 62 associated with the Mile 6 West Road Improvement Project, with authority for the county judge to sign the administrative evaluation and approval form.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 16B1, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for revenues received from the city of Westbrook for the Mile 10 Road Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B2, approval of the 2019 appropriation of funds in the amount of $685,370.76.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Item 17A, number one, requesting authorization and approval to apply for water service with the City of FAR for 1 water meter for the Precinct 2 indoor baseball park.
Move for approval. Second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
17A2, approval of payment to the City of FAR in the amount of $150 for the utility deposit to set up 1 water meter for the Precinct 2 indoor baseball park, with authority for the county treasurer to issue check after review, audit, and processing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
17B, requesting approval to name a private road that leads to Valley View Road and is south of Military Highway 281 in Donna, Texas, as ILC Service Drive for 911 purposes as recommended by the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 17C is the Valley Baptist Legacy Foundation, approval of certification of revenue as certified by the county auditor for the Valley Baptist Legacy Foundation 2019-11 Collaborative Grant Program.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 17C2, approval to appropriate the grant program income for the VBLF-2019-11 Collaborative Grant Program in the amount of $500,000 to fund the Precinct 2 Las Milpas Park Youth Facility Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Bando.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Item 18B, 1 and 2, asking for approval. 1, requesting approval for an interlocal cooperation agreement between Hidalgo County and the City of Alton to assist one another in multiple projects. And 2, in accordance with the Section 791.04 of the Texas Government Code, Hidalgo County acting by through the county, Hidalgo County Commissioners Court has been advised of the proposed project. County and the city desires to assist each other in projects to be defined by mutual agreement through an ICA, agreeing to assist each other with equipment, materials, and manpower.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
18C, approval of authority of the county judge to execute on behalf of the county of Hidalgo those 2 certain FM 494 right-of-way deeds to the state of Texas, acting by and through the Texas Transportation Commission, the property being conveyed such deeds being parcels 13 and 14, as more particularly described in such deeds.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
18D, 1 and 2, requesting an approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement between Hidalgo County and the City of La Jolla to assist one another in multiple projects. And 2, in accordance with Section 791.014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting an approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement. The county and the city desire to assist each other in projects to be defined by mutual agreement through an ICA, agreeing to assist each other with equipment and materials and manpower.
And move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 18E and F, requesting her approval to accept the counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as parcel number 34 and 19 associated with the Mile 3 North from Tom Gill to Goodwin Road project, with the authority for the county judge to sign the administration evaluation form and approval form.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
18G, requesting for the approval of advanced funding agreement between Hidalgo County and the Texas Department of Transportation for the Mile 3 North from FM 2221 to Tom Gill Road, with authority for the county judge to sign all required documentation.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Valinda Reyes, Precinct 4. Item 19B, There's two items, 1 and 2, that are related. At this time, I will need Judge Cortez to open a public hearing to consider public comments to rename dedicated public streets within the Tamron Estates subdivision so that the legal description of these streets match the names of those streets which are generally known by the public and governmental entities. Judge,
To do it now?
will you open up?
Okay. Well, I'll open a public hearing to consider public comments to rename some dedicated public streets.
Is it 414 or 415 for the record? 415, okay. Is there anyone here that has a public comment?
Okay?
Okay, so
Absent anybody's, the public hearing is then closed.
Thank you. Going then to item 2, authorization and approval to change the legal names of public streets located in the Tamron Estates subdivision pursuant to Chapter 251 of the Texas Transportation Code as follows. Rebecca Lane shall be renamed to Becky Lane. Susan Lane shall be named to Suzette Lane. Summer Lane shall be named to Sunny Lane. Nancy Lane shall be named to Angie Lane. And Amber Lane shall be renamed to Tamron Lane.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. Item 20B is approval of salary schedule changes as per Exhibit A. This is a lateral transfer of an Assistant District Attorney 4. Requesting approval?
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion
Item-
carries.
Item 20C, 1 and 2 is approval to undesignate funds in fiscal year 2018 for the 1115 waiver program in the amount of $29,006.93, and for the flood control water extraction in the revised amount of $2,030,007.07.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 20D is approval of the following personnel actions as per Exhibit A, which are 5 change in funding source, and 1 position deletion for the HIDA program.
Move for
Recommend
approval.
approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 20E1, A and B, is approval to undesignate in fiscal year 2018 and approval of appropriation of funds in fiscal year 2019 in the amount of $28,992.08, and this is for the new courthouse.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, this is A and B.
A and B, yes,
Okay.
it's an undesignation and then an appropriation of funds.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 20E2 is approval of 2019 appropriation of funds to fund various PO rollovers in special revenue fund and internal service funds in the total amount of $3,789,241.67.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And item 20E3, A and B, is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor and appropriation of those funds in the amount of $101,543.77. This is for Precinct 1 road maintenance program.
Approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion
Thank you,
carries.
Judge Commissioners.
Can you take over the?
Sure. Item 21A.
Yes, this is for Hidalgo County. Presentation and acceptance of the scoring grid in connection with the sole response received for the purposes of ranking and in order to proceed to the next phase of the proposal process. This is for credit card payment services. As you can tell by the numbers, the sole response does meet the minimum qualifications, and we ask that and that's with Easy Access Incorporated. And I ask for acceptance of that grid.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Item B is acceptance and approval of final services contract with the awarded vendor Easy Access for credit card payment services with the RFP as shown.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Item 3 is acceptance and approval of the interlocal governmental cooperation agreement by and between the Hidalgo County Appraisal District and the County of Hidalgo for year 2019 in connection with participating in our group health plan. This is something that they have been doing for some time now. They do pay their own premiums.
Move for approval.
Hold on, sorry.
Oh.
I don't think I can participate in this, Steve.
No.
This is with Foremost Telecommunications?
No, this is.
No, this is item three. This is for the appraisal district to join, piggyback on our group health insurance.
It'd probably be better if you abstain.
We'll just wait for it, because we don't.
We don't need to. You've got 3 people.
Right.
And so if 2 of y'all vote for it, it will be.
Can I
valid.
read it, though? Can I read it?
You can read it.
All right. So do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And I will abstain. Motion carries. Did we do item 2, Marty?
That was my question.
I skipped it.
You
Oh, my
skipped it.
goodness.
Yeah, you skipped
That
number
goes to
2.
show you how soon I want to get out of here.
That's why I asked you.
Have a check
We
mark.
can do 2
That's
through
why I
4.
asked you.
I'm sorry. Item 2, presentation of the final negotiated form of agreement between Hidalgo County and Foremost Telecommunications, which is the cloud services for the provision of services through project titled Countywide Internet Connectivity and Connection, as ranked and authorized for negotiations by Commissioners Court.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, going back now to item 4.
Marty, for the sake of just doing it, since there's one item on there, which I would, number
What?
5?
Yes, you're going to get to it. You're going to do it.
Okay.
Yes, I already marked it, and I sent it to Monica for you to do.
Go ahead.
Okay? I've got to read the first part, though.
Yes.
Okay, item 4 is acceptance and approval of the pre-qualified firms submitting statements of qualifications for the establishment of our pre-qualified firms, which will go through the, once they're accepted, go through the protocol that has been established by the county through the RFQ. They are architectural services, engineering services that are geotechnical and construction materials testing, construction management services, appraisal services, which will be read by Mr. Guerra, and review appraisal, and surveyor services. I just want to bring to the court's attention, under the architectural services, we had one firm that only submitted a resume. We are recommending that that firm's SOQ be not accepted. We recommend that it be returned to them. And there is an item on the agenda, if the court wishes to re-advertise, they always have the opportunity to try to attempt to resubmit. And then I do want to make some notes. On every one of these pools, if a vendor did not submit, for example, a SAM.gov, it will be noted to them if they are indeed nominated, graded, and selected, that if it has to do with any type of federal grants, they would need to register with SAM.gov. So I'd just like to bring that to your attention. So having said that, I will let Mr. Guerra take number 5. I've read all 6. And so I'm asking you to accept 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 lists.
And with that being said, number 5, and there is a related item to, or not related, but there's another item down the road. Number 5 is appraisal services and/or appraisal review services, which was RFQ 2019-014-02-20-YZV.
So we are recommending the list as attached to you.
Move for approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And just for clarification, you do agree with recommending to return the one statement that was only a resume?
And why was
Everything
number
complete.
5 not discussed by you?
She has.
No,
she has
no, I had Mr. Guerra read it.
No, number 5, because of.
Because of the
relation with, yes.
With one of the vendors.
Oh,
Yes.
I get what you're doing, yes, because of that, yes.
Yes.
That's why she didn't do it.
Item B is option for the re-advertising of any one of the professional services RFQs or all of them in the event the court wishes to promote more participation and expand the pool. The only caveat there would be that if you do this anyone submitting would then expire at the same time this pool is being adopted for.
Move for
Does the
approval.
court- Okay.
Were we going to?
We're going to re-advertise?
We are going to re-advertise?
Well, if you so vote,
Number one, you mean talking about one or what?
all of them.
All of them?
Either one or all of them. It's up to you.
Did you get enough bidders?
Well, I know
Enough
that,
RFQs?
I know that,
Expect?
Are you recommending?
yes,
You're
yes,
recommending
I
for us
would,
to do it?
For all or just one?
for all of them.
Ah, okay.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item B1, Precinct 1, acceptance and approval of final AIA, a form of agreement between Econ Group for the construction management risk Sunset Park operation facility. And that would be authority for the project manager to issue and send the formal notice to proceed. This is subject to legal counsel's review. This has been rerouted now to the civil section of the DA's office, as Mr. Crane has advised us that that was the best thing to do. So it's subject to their final review.
That's on B1, right?
Yes, sir.
Move for approval.
Second. Now, what are we doing here?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
We're accepting this CMARC project, contract for the construction of the Sunset Park Operations Center. However, once we got word from Mr. Crane that the firm may have a conflict, we rerouted it for legal review as to form to the DA civil section. So it's subject to that.
I see. Okay, I got it.
Okay?
We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And then B is subject to the Texas Local Government Code. In the interest of expediting the project's progress, we're requesting and recommending approval of the assignment of Mayor David Suarez to execute change orders as pursuant to that code.
This is reading myself or him. Are you
Yourself
just-
or him.
You're just designating him?
You're designating him.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Requesting approval of the on-call professional services agreement with Quintanilla Headley and Associates for the provision of surveying services within Precinct 1.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Guerra, you're going to take the next
And
one.
Judge Commissioners, item 3 is requesting approval of professional service agreement with George J. Salazar II, DBA Appraisal House, for the provision of appraisal and/or review appraisal services in connection with a fair market value appraisal for county-owned Donna Schroeder Park, located in Hidalgo County Precinct Number 1, as approved and negotiated by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court on February 26th of this year, through agenda item AI 69093, with said services to be obtained through the requisition and purchase order protocol.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 4 is requesting approval of the on-call professional services agreement with ROW Surveying for the provision of those services for Precinct 1.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Precinct. Excuse me, I'm missing a page here. Okay. Going on to item, I'm sorry. Okay.
Good.
Now, going on to item 1, requesting approval of supplemental agreement number 2 to agreement for professional services with LNG Engineers, DBA LNG Engineering, for the purpose of amending the contract to extend this termination date from March 29, 2019 to March 29, 2023 for FM 1925, as stated on the agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
For Health and Human Services, D1, presentation of sole sealed quote received for the purpose of award and approval of a contract for the responsible vendor meeting all specifications, but in no event to exceed the $50,000 bid limit for burial services and plots for unidentified pauper remains, contract number, and this is with Valverde Funeral Home.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
E1, WIC, presentation for the purpose of award the responsible vendor, SPI Ventures LLP, submitting the lowest bid, meeting all specifications, and that is for office space in Starr County, Rio Grande City, and that's through that contract number that's there, project number that's stated on the agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
F1 for the Sheriff's Office, requesting approval to purchase 2 new vehicles for the Sheriff's Office through county's membership through ESC2, which is Goodbye Purchasing Cooperative Vendor, awarded vendor Lake County Country Chevrolet. The amount is $66,114, which includes delivery and the one-time processing fee.
Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2 is presentation of the sealed quotes received for the purpose of award and approval of contract for the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid, and that is for purchase of security correctional mattresses.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I have.
You all still having fun?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good.
Little low on blood sugar, but
I went over it.
the closed session.
Okay, we're going to go into closed session under Chapter 551 of Texas Government Code, Section 551.701 and 551.002 and 551.074 to discuss certain matters. May I have a motion?
Motion to go to executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Is everybody back? We're back from executive session. Do we have any action items to take?
Judge Commissioners, under open session, 25A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same, there's no action to be taken. 25B, pending under potential litigation, there's no action to be taken. I'm going to skip 25C for right now. 25D, pursuant to Texas Government, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074, discussion and or deliberation regarding the appointment and or employment of Hidalgo County Director of IT. We will proceed as directed. Item 25E, cause number C-0965-18-E, Rogelio Regalado versus Hidalgo County. Judge Commissioners, Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office will facilitate and protect the county's interest in this case. Out of abundance of caution, could I have a motion to that
So
effect?
move.
Okay. I have a motion to that effect.
Second.
Okay, we had a motion from Commissioner Fuentes, a second from Commissioner Torres. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
25F, claim of Marisela Hernandez Iram Rodriguez Minor and Martin Gonzalez Rodriguez. There is no action to be taken. Item
Oh, we
20,
will proceed as directed, right?
no, that is no action to be taken. Item 25G, claim of Arturo Lopez. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $4,433.32.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And Ms. Erica, item 25C.
Judge Commissioners, item 25C, we are requesting approval subject to final
Legal approval of the affidavits.
Of all affidavits.
Of all affidavits.
And for the record, that would be with respect to the deliberation and action regarding affidavits pertaining to the following economic development negotiations pursuant to Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, Section 551.087, Project Petunia.
Move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Which one? 9B. Oh, where did Mr. Silguero go?
You said proceed as directed on 9D.
Okay. We have item 9B, Judge Commissioners.
B or D?
Item 9B, and that would be under the classification and compensation, approval of approval and all appropriate action to set the compensation for the Director of Information Technology Department. Judge Commissioners, with that being said, we're looking at setting the salary at $116,231.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Okay. We do have Commissioners Court next week, Tuesday, at 9:30 Drainage District and 10 a.m. Commissioners Court.
Okay, that concludes all our agenda items. Meeting is adjourned.
Motion to adjourn. Yay.